Good morning, everybody. Hey, is Diane in here this morning from Australia? Y'all, she's been emailing me. Cyclone Carolee has been upgraded to a Cat 3 in Queensland, and she is directly in the path. So a little prayer for our friend Diane. She just texted me not text me, but she emailed me a little weather notice this morning. So I don't see her on a quick look. But anyway, good morning, everybody. Hi, it's Becky from Power Tools with Thread, and you are in our Stitchuation room. It is a Monday through Friday daily stitching retreat. We might cut, we might, digitize today. We might tidy a little bit, or you might just be snuggled up on your couch with a cat in your lap, right? Yeah. Good morning, everybody. It is so good to see you here. Now, just like any retreat, we've got a virtual kitchen over on the other side of the room. And I'm pretty sure I can smell the bacon. So I wish, right? Everything is calorie and fat free. Help yourself wander over there and make new friends. And no cat but snuggled, Margie says. That's great. All right, good. Scotty Dog says she's got her cats there. Yeah, you guys, this is a lot of fun. If you're brand new, hi, welcome. Thank you for joining me. We just kind of hang out here every morning. No format, and we're all just stitchers, like-minded souls. And I just throw the camera on because I'm going to be doing something this morning, and so I wanted to share that with you. Good. I'm glad everybody seems to be doing well. All right, good. I'm sure Diane will be fine. This time last year, she and I were sitting on the deck of a cruise ship and enjoying each other's company. So it was a lot of fun. Chris says she doesn't have any pets, but she's got dust bunnies. I love it. That's great. That's great. All right. Oh, okay. So let's talk about that. Debbie. She said she grabbed the fabric and the patterns this morning for On Wander Lane, had to go to 3 shops online to get them. Yeah, they are kind of, they're going to be like a, where's Waldo kind of thing. You got to go everywhere to find them and get the ones that you want. So the On Wander Lane, if you're an embroiderer and you're like, what is all that about? So On Wander Lane is a series of books from designer Nancy Halverson. Let me get them off my desk. You guys chit chat amongst yourselves for just a few seconds. Hold on a second. So these have been around, and this designer, Nancy Halverson's been around for a very, very long time. And she has the company Art to Heart. And and there's been a lot of different patterns that have come through the Art to Heart company. But then she started, like this one here, this one's been around for a while. It's called Better Not Pout. See that? That's been around for a long time. Better Not Pout. Okay. Janet, you're new here. Well, I'm glad you're here too. Thank you. I've got a welcoming committee somewhere. If y'all would, yeah, we do chat quite a bit, Melanie. You're right. So Janet is new. So if the welcoming committee, I think there's, you look out, here it comes, right? So Janet, if you ever want to reply or chat to somebody, you can put the @ symbol and their name with no space in between, and it will pop up in orange on their screen. So if you're seeing the @Janet turn orange all over your screen, just remember that is private. That is public. Okay. That is not a private. So, well, good. Yeah, Janet, we'd love to have newbies. And you guys, if you don't know anybody here, don't be shy. Just jump in on the chat. It's fine. These people could walk by each other in a quilt shop and not know that that's their buddy that they were talking to in the Stitchuation room. And that's the beauty of what we do here. Okay. So let me get back to this. So what what Nancy Halverson did, and y'all, I don't know her. I've never spoken to her. Did send her an email last night, and I'll tell you why in a second. But I haven't spoken. Oh, anyway, so she created this 12-month thing called On Wander Lane, and you have to get a book for each month of On Wander Lane. You're watching me on the big TV, Shannon? Oh my, don't look close. Y'all, when people first started sending me pictures of them watching me on TV, I freaked out. And if you're new and you put in there that you're new or it's your first time and I missed you, I sincerely apologize. You guys, the comments just fly by so fast. Sometimes I'm not looking. But okay. So she created this whole series called On Wander Lane. So this is Blossom Trail. And each one, see how it says On Wander Lane? Okay. And then each book has a pot holder, a mini quilt, a pillow, a little table topper or table runner type, and then a large wall hanging quilt. And in the middle of each large wall hanging quilt is a big center block. See that big center block? And if you love applique, this is the way to go. These are so stinking cute, so beautiful. So some of these are in plastic. I don't want to pull them out. So like here's the one for Midnight Manor. Here's October's. See, isn't that cute? All right. So what's been happening, I've seen on the blogs and stuff lately, is people are putting together the center blocks and creating a 12-block large quilt. So that's cool. That middle block, Kay, I don't know. Hold on a second. Let me look. She says, how big is the middle block? Girlfriend, I don't know. I'd have to dig around in here. So the Midnight Manor quilt itself is approximately 30 by 30. That's the whole quilt is 30 by 30. The house block is 12.5-inch square unfinished. Okay. So On Wander Lane, y'all, has been out for a long time. I've got links to all these books. They're like $12.99 a piece. Okay, Susan, hi. She's from Aberdeen, Scotland. Oh, good. Wow, awesome. Other side of the planet. Yay. My father's family hails from there. Hence the cleft, right? Okay. So there's a quilt shop that has started this. There's a quilt shop that has started this. Let's make all the mini quilts this year, and they're going to do this whole month, once a month stitch along. So, and that would be like this little bitty one right there. Okay. I think it finishes at 6.5. It's kind of small. Okay. Where am I going with this? Well, so I said, wouldn't it be fun to make those mini quilts ourselves? Now, if you're brand new to my channel, I am also a machine embroiderer. And one of the things I love to do is I like to take paper applique patterns and pop them into my handy dandy little SCANNCUT, okay? And then scan in the pattern and use the shape that the SCANNCUT sees to create, of course, it pulls up the shape. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So here's Bunny Knoll, On Wander Lane's Bunny Knoll. Where's the picture? Here's the little mini quilt right there. Right there. Whoa, let me get out of the way so my camera will focus on it. See, it says Happy Easter on it. Okay, isn't that cute? Little bunny, 3 eggs, Happy Easter. Easy peasy. So there's a quilt shop that's doing a monthly quilt along with the mini quilts. And I think that's fantastic. And, they're going to send you these pre-cut laser pieces. Well, I don't need that because I got a SCANNCUT, right? And I've got heat and bond, light. Okay. So I thought, well, why don't I just make those? That'd be fun. Now, in addition to it already cutting out the fabric, I use Embrilliance Essentials, or I'm sorry, I use Embrilliance Stitch Artist 2 to convert the shape that the SCANNCUT saw into an applique embroidery design. And it works awesome. So let me show you what I did last night. Yeah, Gloria Horns, they have permission from Nancy Halverson's Art to Heart to be able to do that, Scotty Dog. She's saying Gloria Horn Sewing Studio. They sell the USB with the patterns in their kits. Right. All righty. So yesterday, it only took me 2 hours, y'all. 2 hours. And let me show you what I did. Let me put my phone on mute. Look what I did. Ta-da! So it took me 2 hours. I scanned in. So for this particular pattern right here, they give you the shapes. And then this is the layout design for the quilt. So we've got the shapes, okay? And they're mirrored. So I mirrored them back over. I scanned this into Brother Canvas. And I will put a link up above to this process where you can scan in a coloring book page, okay? And where are we on that? What's the time? 11:35. I need to make a note. So scan in the coloring book page into the SCANNCUT, all right? I upload it into Brother Canvas, clean it up, flip it around, mirror it, send it back down to the SCANNCUT, cut my shapes. That was the easy part. Oh, and then also download it into my laptop, that digital file from Canvas. Download it into my laptop, right? And then arrange it so that I've got applique, which I did. The hardest part that I did was picking fabrics. That was the hardest part that I did. So, oh, this is a test. Jude, she says it looks too low. The words are going to get in the seam. Yeah, this is a test. So what I did was I realized my stitching, I had the default stitch set for the blanket stitch in Embrilliance. I would do that. Look at the stitching up close. See how long those stitches are? I would do them a little bit shorter. Okay. I would make the stitches a little bit shorter and then a little bit closer together. They're too far apart. Okay. I also, lesson learned, would cut my fabric because you're doing it on an embroidery machine. It's hard to see where it's going to land, right? So I would cut my fabric larger for my background. And then, and yes, I do. That's where I was. Yes, Shirley, that's where I was going. I did this by machine. I didn't put this on a domestic and blanket stitch around it. It was done. So I dumped it into the Embrilliance Stitch Artist 2. And with the click of a couple of buttons, I turned it into applique. Okay. And then sent the applique wirelessly to my luminaire. So stitched this on, got this part done. Then when I was finished with that, I created, this is not hand stitching. That is done by the luminaire. That all that stitching is done from this right here. The luminaire, Solaris, Stellar with the camera, any of the ones with a camera system have the ability to scan in this hand stitching. Y'all know I'm not hand stitching a thing. So this magnetic hoop is my 9x14. That's the size of this one. You see my stitching. Well, Shirley, that's not my stitching. That's the embroidery program that did that. Okay. So it creates a placement line and then the final tack down. You can even set it to give you a tack down line if you want, and then the final stitching. You can do that. So anyway, Embrilliance does this. So Tina wants to know, does Embrilliance do this? Yes, I am using the Embrilliance suite of software, and the module that I'm using in Embrilliance is Stitch Artist 2. You need to have Stitch Artist 2 in order for you to be able to import the vector graphic that is created by the SCANNCUT. Okay, so Kay wants to know what block I'm going to begin with. Well, that quilt shop's starting with April. So this is April. This is the one. Like I said, this was my test last night. This was for me to kind of figure out stitch width, stitch length, you know, is it going to work and all that. And then lesson learned, make sure I've got big enough fabric. So I want to cut my background a lot larger and then trim it to size. Did I scan directly to machine or to SCANNCUT? So Twyla, the shapes were scanned into the SCANNCUT because I wanted the SCANNCUT to cut the fabric. That cut that bunny perfectly, didn't it? Just perfect. In under 2 minutes for my bunny, his tail, and all 3 eggs. Okay. And then the lettering was scanned into the Luminaire. So let's see. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. So I wanted to show you this morning how I did the lettering in this big fancy machine. A lot of you have the big fancy machines and you've never used that feature. A lot of you don't have or couldn't, you know, get a big fancy machine. I get that. I started with a Brother PE 770. I get it. Will it work with what? Yeah, step-by-step instructions. Let's see. So Kay wants to know if it's going to work with a 6x10 hoop. I think it will, because the finished size, so see how the eggs stay under the bunny? The finished size of the bunny and the eggs is like 5 1/16. I looked at that yesterday because I was wondering myself. So I don't see why you do it sideways, but you can certainly get this in a 6x10 hoop. That makes your brain hurt, Carol? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. Did I do a video on the table runner showing how you cut out the hearts with the SCANNCUT? I did not show the SCANNCUT part when I did the Double the Love table runner from Sweet Pea. We did that on Tuesday this week. I did the applique the old-fashioned way because there's a lot of people who don't have a SCANNCUT, and so I wanted to show them, because it was a beginner video, show them how to trim around applique. So, all right. Let's see what we got. Can the Dream Machine do this? It can to a point, Janet. The Dream Machine can scan in a design. Yeah. What was the name of the large flannel? Oh. Carol, those are those flannel dividers you're looking for are at the Fiber Co-op in San Angelo. Do a Google for the Fiber Co-op in San Angelo and go to gifts. And in the gifts section, she's got the little tote bags. And I don't know if she has any online, but you can call her and she'll make you some. Could I convert that to a satin stitch? Cheryl wants to know. Absolutely. Yeah, you sure can. You can do a satin, a blanket, an E-stitch, or a run stitch. Yeah. Can I convert a PDF file to an embroidery file with embroidery essentials? No, Cheryl, you cannot. You can't do that. Embrilliance does not convert designs at all. You've got to have something in the middle, like a SCANNCUT. You can scan in the PDF into the SCANNCUT and it will convert. So let me show you guys what I was talking about. I'm going to jump up here and y'all, this is so fun. It seems intimidating at first, y'all. I know it does, but once you get the hang of this, it changes the way you look at applique quilts. All of a sudden, you're no longer sitting there going, oh, I'm not going to stitch around all of that. That's insane. So let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to share my screen with y'all. Can I have SCANNCUT? Phyllis wants to know, can I scan Happy Easter on the SCANNCUT and have it stitch? No. You You cannot. It won't, the SCANNCUT does not create stitches. The embroidery software creates the stitches. Okay, so here, this is Brother Canvas, canvasworkspace.brother.com. Okay, this is Brother Canvas. Very easy to navigate around in here. You could start brand new if you want, but I'm going to go to the tab for my projects. And here's my bunny right here. That's on Wander Lane for April. So take a look here. This is my original scan. And when I pulled it up, I'll show you what I did. So this is the original scan. Okay. And where I said I cleaned it up, right? You can see the edge of the paper. And in the SCANNCUT, I told it, I only want you to look at the outside only, not the inside and the outside. All right. So here is the picture that says Happy Easter, the layout diagram, but you can't see that because I told it only look at the outside, because all I wanted was the bunny. I'm going to grab the bunny and let's see, this egg and this egg and this egg and this tail. That's all I want. And then the rest of it, I'm going to just drag my cursor over the whole 9 yards and hit delete on the keyboard. And then I'm going to bring all this back in. I'll just show you very quickly my process, y'all. I'm going to drag it all back in, right click and group, and then come up to the edit tab. Whoop, I didn't group it, did I? Right click and group. There we go. So now we have one object. All right. And then I'm going to go to edit and flip horizontal. Now it's all facing the right way, and I can right click and ungroup. And now what I do is I just take the bunny and I'm going to place my pieces according to the fabric they're going to be cut out of and nestle those together. So the tail and the bunny go in the same quadrant of the mat. And then here's an egg. And here's a different fabric egg. And these are separate because they're going to be different fabrics. All right. So that's what I did. Now I can just download this. And when I click the download button, what I get, I can download it to the SCANNCUT. And that's what I do to cut out the fabric. And then I download to PC. It works on a Mac as well. Okay. And that is that FCM file. That's the vector graphic. .fcm. Okay. That's the vector graphic that I use to create the embroidery design. All right. So now, let me do this. I'm just doing it here because I don't have, did I lose you guys? Okay. Diane, you can't stay tonight. Cyclone. I just told everybody you were in the path, Diane. So you've got lots of prayers from everybody here that, oh my goodness. I hope you're out of the way, Diane. I hope you are out of the way. Debbie, making the bunny tail a pom-pom would be adorable. Canvas, Connie, that's a good question. Is Canvas Workspace free? It is. It is free. And if you've ever got an SVG file that you want to convert into an embroidery design, okay, you don't have to have the SCANNCUT. Let's say you don't have a SCANNCUT. Let's say you got a Cricut, right? Whatever you want to do. But you can import an SVG file into the Canvas Workspace. It's really easy. It's just a button and very easy to do. Okay. You have a Cricut Maker. You only have Embrilliance Essentials. Cheryl, okay. You can make the mini quilts. You're just going to have to do it the old-fashioned way, all right? You can certainly cut out your pieces. You can kind of figure out on your mat where that would, you know, where that would land and then get it on there. Yeah, but you do, in order to convert the design into an embroidery design, you need Stitch Artist 2, not 1. You need 2. Can the SCANNCUT projects be downloaded to a USB? Yes, Jackie, absolutely. It certainly can. There is a USB port in the side of this sweet baby right here on the other side of the machine. There's a USB port there. So if you can't connect wirelessly, you can use a USB. Absolutely. No problem. Okay. Oh, you're in the second phase. No power, so must save phone battery. Oh my gosh, Diane. Sounds like a jumbo jet outside. All right. Well, you stay safe. All right. Turn your phone off. You might be out of power for a while. Okay. Okay. Can Embrilliance convert the words into stitches? No, Karen, it cannot. Embrilliance cannot do that. Embrilliance can't. No, there is a way to import a photo into Embrilliance, and then you have to have Stitch Artist in order to be able to create stitches on that. You can trace over those and create stitches. Avi, I think you've got it. And this is, y'all, we've kind of called this snap-plique because you can do applique in a snap, right? Doing this way. So she says, for Becky's Way, you need Embrilliance, Essentials, Stitch Artist 2, SCANNCUT, Canvas Workspace, Heat and Bond Light. No, you're not missing anything, but Essentials is not totally necessary. It's only necessary if you want to be able to sort your colors. You can do, the only thing that's not in Stitch Artist 2 that is in Essentials is the ability to color sort. So, okay. So you use the FCM from the SCANNCUT to cut the pieces, not SVG you created in Embrilliance. Yeah, KJ. So the FCM, like SVG stands for Scalable Vector Graphic. The FCM is also a vector graphic. Okay. Yep. So you can import an SVG into Embrilliance and convert that into the embroidery design as well. It doesn't have to be an FCM. Let me hide this and I'll show you what I mean here in just a second. I'm going to share my screen with you guys again. I go to present and share screen. And let's go to window and show you my Embrilliance. Okay. So this is my Embrilliance screen right here. And I've got Stitch Artist 2 open. So I have a lot of other buttons. If I click off of this, I go back to the normal menu. All right. But when you click on Stitch Artist, if you have Stitch Artist 1, you'll see image. And that's where I was saying you could import a picture and it'll have the text, true text right down here. So that's where you could do some text editing. Okay. But see this, it doesn't say SVG there. It says vector. So you need, there are several different formats for vector graphics. So if you have an SVG file you want to import into there, you can. I'm going to click on vector and I'm going to go to my downloads. Let me find my downloads. There they are. And I'm going to get my bunny that I just sent down here from Brother Canvas. So there's my bunny. See that? Now I'm going to do this real quick. I'm just going to pop him kind of here. Well, let me get him out of the way so I can find his tail. Let me get the tail. So when you click on the line, you'll get the box and your cursor turns into a little hand. Notice I did not rotate these at all. Okay. I didn't do any rotation. This is the way they were scanned in. So there's his tail. And then, so here's egg 1 is kind of right there. And egg 2 is kind of right here. And then egg 3. And then you need to do the stitch order. I'm doing this real rudimentary. So here's his tail. I want that to stitch first. So I'm going to right click and move first. And it jumped up to the top. Then the bunny. Let's see, that's egg 1. I want that one to be last. Move last. And then, I'm sorry, Harley's barking outside the door, you guys. I apologize. She wants in. Here's my second egg. And this is my third egg. I want the third egg to stitch first because the second egg stitches on top of it. So I'm going to grab a hold of it and drag it up under the bunny. There. So now it's going to stitch tail, bunny, third egg, middle egg, first egg. Perfect. Good enough, right? So Control A to select all, and this one little button right here. So all I did over here was I changed the stitch order. That's all I did was change stitch order. No rotation, no none of that. I've got it into basically what I look like for, matter of fact, I want to nestle these up. I'm going to highlight the egg, hold down the shift key and highlight the last egg. And now I can use my arrow keys and just nudge it up a tiny bit. So it's just like it is in the picture. That looks good. Okay. Control A to select all. I'm going to select one button, you guys. This is the applique button. And there it is. There's my applique design. That's how that works. Now that's still a picture because you can see up here it says FCM. So it's still a graphic. But that's where you go, File, Save Stitch I'm Working. And I'm going to call it Bunny, OWL on Wander Lane. Okay. And my downloads and save. And now I can go and open from my downloads my Bunny OWL. I want the PES file. That's the embroidery design, and click open. This is now an embroidery design. Okay. It's got some overlaps that you can see the stitching. That's fine. There's a way to remove that, but it's a little in depth and I didn't want to go into that today. But you can see here it is, right? There's your embroidery design. That's how. So I have playlists. What did I do with the bunny that you would need Stitch Artist Level 2? Shannon wants to know. You don't get that button to import the vector unless you've got that, unless you've got Stitch Artist 2. You cannot import a vector graphic without that. And let me tell you, if you guys have some real high-end embroidery software, maybe you've got PE Design, you might have Floriani's, you might have Artista, you might have PEP, whatever. They all do this. It's just not as easy, okay? So what if you were to satin stitch this? What width would I use? So Melba, that's a good question. That's where I run the test. So like that's the default stitching on the screen that you see. They're a little farther apart than I would like. So you go in and you can change all of that, your satin or whatever. Standard is 3 millimeters, industry standard. So you're lost. You don't, oh, I'm sorry, Kristen. I'm sorry. I apologize, y'all. But there's a lot of people watching who see this and go, oh, I've got all that stuff. This is what I want to do. Y'all, I have a playlist on my like chicken salad quilt that I made from Lori Holt. I did that entire quilt using this method to applique down all of those chickens. Yeah, Embrilliance is much easier to work with, Kathy. Yeah. So for Stitch Artist 2, first you need to get 1 and then 2. No, ma'am, you do not. No. If you have Stitch Artist 1, there is an upgrade. If you have no Stitch Artist at all, you can just get Stitch Artist 2. All of the tools that are in 1 are also in 2. Okay, they build on each other. Oh, now see, Sharon says, I think I get this. Yeah, I think I get this. Y'all, I have links. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're lost, sweetie. I'm sorry. That's just a little something to stretch your muscles, all right? Your creativity muscles, just to open up a new thing for some of you. That's what I like to do here on Power Tools with Thread. I like to take technology and implement it into our sewing rooms. So yeah, you've got essentials. If you already have Embrilliance essentials, you know, the buttons are pretty much all the same. So you're going to be real familiar with the platform already. And once you don't have one either, Janie's thinking of getting one. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Okay. She says, my best video is the Lori Holt Vintage Strawberry. I did start doing So Vintage using this process as well. So I do break it down step by baby step on how exactly to do this. And that's one of the reasons I was telling you guys the other day that if you want to do this on Wander Lane, this center quilt block, the center one for this, you can do this. You can do that whole center block using this process. But what you end up with is the block is larger than the largest hoop on the market. So you have to first create all your background quilting, and then you have to be able to break the design into sections that will embroider together. So like on this one, and you need the largest hoop unless you, anyway, we're not going to get into resizing it all down. So Julianne, you can't figure out how to do it. Carol, you need to play with the software and nothing will blow up on you. That's right. Trial and error, you guys. You guys, a lot of people will watch my videos and they'll stop it and they'll play it, stop, and do it on their software, and then play it and stop and do it on their software. So is there a reason why I use applique stitch versus a satin stitch? You can do whatever you want, Peggy. No. Some designs look good with a satin stitch. Matter of fact, one of the very first ones I ever did. Yeah, Wendy's right. Once you do it the first time, it is easy. You guys, and that's what your scrap basket is for, to get it out and test and figure it out. So I had, in the title of this video, I talked about digitizing handwork. Well, there's the handwork I digitized. So let me show you how I did that. You can use any hoop. You can get the scanning mat. So if you have the Luminaire or the Stellaire, I'm just going to use the same design that I did yesterday. The machine doesn't know it's not a scanning mat. The machine does not know. Let me do this. Okay. So I'm going to put it in upside down this way, since just so y'all can tell the difference. But I'm going to show you how I did this. Okay. All right. So I've got my paper pattern. This is anytime you have got a quilt block that you need to do that has hand stitching. I'm not doing that. So I'll do the quilt block, right? You might have a little buzzy bee and it's got the little buzzy bee trail behind the bee, and they want you to hand stitch that. I'm not doing that, okay? Okay, so here we go. Let me show you how I did this. Any of the machines that have Design Center or IQ Design, right? This is how you do that. Let me get this so you guys can see. I know my name's in the way. Hold on. There we go. All right. I'm going to go to My Design Center. And up at the top of the screen, there we go. There's a little leaf, and that's your scanner button to scan the leaf. I'm going to hit the scanner button, and you want to do line design, the middle one, line design. And then it shows you a picture of the scanning mat, but you don't have to. You can use any hoop. I'm going to hit scan and okay, because it says it's going to move. And so now it's scanning. The camera is right here, and it's taking a picture of what it sees on the mat. So you're totally. El Faber, you're hilarious. She says she's milked too many cows in her life to do anything by hand. Frida, did you find that little goldfish I left for you? Come here, baby. Frida's here this morning. Come here, baby. Good morning, baby girl. How you doing? Yes, it's a sweet girl. Yeah. Oh, I love you too. Okay. All right. You're going to have to go to the gym. Bye, Donna. Have a good workout. Okay, so it has finished scanning, y'all. Here we go. Let's look at the screen. All righty. Let's see here. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is take my little arrows. I want to narrow in to just the words. Let me get this to, so it gives me less I have to edit out of the image. If you can get it in real close. Now I'm going to bring this one in. It says framing the image, and that's what I'm doing. I want to get it just so I get as little that I have to erase as possible. That's pretty good. So I'm going to tell it okay. There. Now I've got some Easter eggs up here and I've got the line of the paper and all that. So I'm going to tell it set. That's fine. I don't need to change anything. I'm going to tell it set. Now I'm going to make it, let me get my, they give you the stylus. I'm going to make it real big. I'm going to go up to like 200. Is that good? And what you do is you get your eraser. I'm going to touch on the eraser. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, maybe up to 30 or so. And I like to use the square because I can see the edges of the square and I know what's going to happen. Then I'm just going to take my cursor, my little stylus, and erase anything I don't want to turn into stitches, because every little dot will turn into a stitch if you don't get rid of it. Okay. So this is what I do. This is what I did yesterday. I'm going to get rid of all this. Now I went over that and so I'm going to hit the undo. There we go. If you erase something you shouldn't, you just hit undo. It's very helpful to pick up your cursor frequently so that you have a new starting point for an undo. You want to get in there real close. I'm going to touch the hand. I'm going to scroll it over. Look at this. This is why we bought the fancy machine, you guys. Undo my hand and get rid of, with the square, I can get right up to it and get rid of anything I don't need. Let's see. These are the eggs. I'm going to get rid of my eggs. I didn't need that. Some of these are, that's a grass. See how I'm doing that? It's so simple, y'all. You guys can watch Terry Maffitt's Just Stitching with the Brother Luminaire. She's got a lot on how to do this. Okay. I'm going to do the hand, bring it up. And I want to get rid of that little bitty dit. So I'm going to make my eraser much smaller. There. That looks good. Let me go back to 100. Uh-oh. I got an egg piece on there. I got to get rid of that. Just like that. There's the grass. Now see how I've got a gap? Let me go up real big and show you guys. See that gap right there? That'll create a gap in the stitching. So what you do is you hit your little pencil tool. And now I've turned on the pencil. Now I can draw and fill in that gap. I need to go back to my eraser. And I want to go really, really small. My circle now. And I want to get rid of that. And I've got a double line here. Whoop. It's because I've got it so big that it looks big, but it's blown up 800%. There we go. That looks pretty good. That'll be fine. And I'm going to tell it back to 100. So there we go. Oh, that looks really good. Now I'm going to tell it next. Now here's where the magic is, y'all. There it is. That looks exactly like it's supposed to. So I want to select everything. Right now, I only have the one little piece of grass selected. I'm going to hit the little chain link, and that selects everything. Okay. And I want to take it down zigzag width to 0.040 and tell it okay. And that's exactly what I did right there. There you go. That's exactly what I did. That's how you digitize hand stitching. Okay. And I'm going to tell it set. It says now it's done digitizing. It's converted it into an embroidery design. I'm going to tell it okay. All right. And embroidery. And it's ready to stitch. That's how you do it. Okay. You guys, I've got lots of videos on how to do this very process. And while I'm gone on my cruise, we leave Saturday and I'll be back on Monday the 5th. Okay. But how I do that, you guys use that as homework. Okay. Because that's exactly how I'm going to be stitching these mini quilts. Now, I said I sent Nancy Halverson an email last night, and I hope they respond, because in their every pattern, it says, every pattern has this in the book. Let's see. Oh, and if you are making these, go to the Art to Heart website. There are pattern corrections on many of them. Okay, so go to the Art to Heart website. So in here it says, this pattern is for personal use only, not for commercial production. No part of this pattern may be reproduced in any way, including laser cutting, unless given express written consent by Art to Heart, all rights reserved. So I wrote to them to ask, can we do this? Because it says it can't be reproduced. Once you convert this into a digital design, it can go out into the ethos. All right. You guys, we don't do that. We have to respect our designers, and we do not share patterns. We don't share FCM files, SVG files, none of that. Okay. That's intellectual property theft. And we are stitchers with scruples, are we not? Right? No intellectual property theft. So that's really important. Thank you, Marlene, for the super sticker. Aren't you nice? You just learned something about your Luminaire. Little free class or a cheap class. Thank you so much. Can you do this in Embrilliance? Can you send a file or image from the machine to Embrilliance? So can you digitize in Embrilliance? Yes. Embrilliance connects to the Luminaire and the Solaris or any other brother or baby lock machine that has got wireless technology that can accept designs wirelessly. Put it that way. Okay. So, y'all, if this is your first exposure to this, it can seem a little overwhelming. It's very simple. Scan the design into the SCANNCUT, create a vector graphic, import that vector graphic into the embroidery software, and with the click of the button, like I showed you, you then create an embroidery design. My whole point for learning this. Oh, Jamie, you're on your way to the airport? Yay! Yeah, we're not packing till tomorrow. Yeah, we're packing tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, right? Is today Friday or tomorrow Friday? What day is this? It's Thursday. So we're packing tomorrow. So all you need to get permission if you use it for yourselves. No, you don't, Melba. You don't. If you want to use it for yourself, like I just made that without asking permission, okay? Because I made it for me. I wrote to them because I have an audience that I want to share this process with, all right? So I just want to be on the up and up with them to ask permission. Is it okay for me to share my knowledge with you to show you how to do this? My thought on this is what I just showed you on the Luminaire, eventually you're going to be able, this is Becky's thought process. Brother's going to get to the point that eventually you're going to be able to just scan that pattern on the Luminaire and make applique. It can do that now, but it's very rustic, very rudimentary. It's better with the line design type thing like I just showed you guys. Yeah, that's my whole thing. Stitchers with integrity. That's right, Julianne. I've said that before. Scruples, integrity. We are stitchers with integrity, and we don't steal other people's designs. And if you share your designs with your daughter, you're stealing. That's what I'm saying. Y'all don't do that. We need to support our designers. My whole thought behind this is embroidery digitizers have been making e-files available for 10 years now. You can buy them and download them, right? The technology is there. And since the horse has left the barn, get on board with it and introduce an entire new group of customer base to them beyond quilters. You can make these and say, if you're an embroiderer, you can do this too. And because you guys, A lot of us are embroiderers and quilters, but there's a lot of embroiderers, hundreds of thousands of embroiderers that are not quilters. They just embroider. They do a little onesie, they do little pillows, whatever. So my whole point is, oh, you're going to be at Mo Queens in April. You won't be on Sew and Sale 13 with me. Okay. So that I'm just asking the question, hey, I'm going to be doing this and there will be no sharing of files. So it's very overwhelming. You don't have an embroidery machine with all the bells and whistles. Yeah, Jackie, that's most embroiderers. That's most. Although you might consider an upgrade. You know, my philosophy, the kids can have the house. You've worked your whole life. You know, you find something with 0% financing, trade in, jump on it. That's the way I think. So Charlene had to make tough choices to lighten the load. So KJ, you can do this on the Dream Machine. You absolutely, well, to scan in the hand stitching, I don't think that can be done. I think the limit of the technology on Dream is the ability to move designs with the camera, to move designs so that they're going to land exactly where you want them to. I don't know. So you need Stitch Artist too. Yes, Deidre, to do this. You absolutely do. Yeah, you can on the Dream. Avi says, okay. So I know you can scan in designs. You can scan in the background quilting, your background, and you can place designs exactly where you want them on the Dream. The ability of the Dream to create stitches, like I showed with the lettering, I'm not entirely sure that's possible. You might still have to do that by hand. Yes, Artspira can do this. Absolutely. So I'm pretty sure Artspira can. I've not played with it. So, and then you can do it with the app. You can do it on the Destiny too. You guys, I'm not sure the difference between the names and the models and all that. I think you can do it to a point. All right. I'm not sure about the ability. The Dream can scan, yes, and it can create stitches for the hand working. All right. Avi says yes. Good. That's great. I have a Quattro and with the 2 upgrades, so it thinks it's a Dream, but I've never tried to do that. So on my Quattro, what I had was that tablet where you could write on the tablet and then it would turn that into hand stitching. That's what I did with that. So, and the other option, you guys, if you've got Embrilliance, okay, is to import a BX font that you like, use a font that's in the software and create Hoppy Easter and use that to stitch it out. You're going to still get the bunny and the eggs, right? You're still going to get the bunny and the eggs because you're doing all that on your computer. You're not doing that on your laptop, on your embroidery machine. You're making the applique design on the computer. Then you just save it as your file type for your Viking and put it on a USB and take it over to your machine and stitch it out. So the SCANNCUT I have, Jackie, is the SDX 325. You can do what I just showed you with the SDX 85. It does not matter which one. So the bigger the hoop, the happier bee, Candace says. That's right. You don't want hoop envy. Buy the most machine you can afford, the most machine you can finance. Absolutely. Yeah. So let's see what else. Okay. You can use your own handwriting and scan it. Yes. So Peggy's been doing that. She wanted to take her grandchildren's handwriting or drawings and scanned it into her Luminaire. Do you have a Solaris? I can't remember, Peggy. And then create that. Yeah. So, all right, you guys. Are we close? We're almost close to 8 o'clock. So anyway, yeah, you guys, there's a lot of ways to do this. Don't feel like you got to go, buy a Luminaire. You certainly don't. But if you do, yay, right? It'll come home with you. That's good. Melanie says when she gets back, she's going to buy an embroidery machine. Atta girl, do that. The Stellaire, I thought so. Oh, you have the Stellaire, Peggy? Okay, you're still working on it. Good for you. That's great. So anyway, yeah, I just wanted to show you guys how to do that, how you can use the Design Center or IQ Design to be able to convert line drawings. And that's all that is. It looks like letters to our eyeballs. It's just a line drawing. You can convert that into something that you can put into hand stitching. Where'd my bunny go? I had it right here. He's still in the hoop. There he is. He's in the machine. And oh, the little eyeballs on my bunny, those are 2 little periods in a font that was in the machine. Okay. 2 little periods that was in a font in the machine. That's all that is. That's how I made those. So think outside the box, you guys. All right. Yeah, you guys use the embroidery, use Stitch Artist to make the design. And just save it to a USB and bring the USB to your machine. It does not, you don't have to have a Brother machine to do this. You don't have to have a Brother machine to use a SCANNCUT. You can have a Husqvarna or a Singer or a Pfaff or whatever and still use the SCANNCUT. They don't have to be the same, okay? I just want to make sure that's real clear. But look how cute that turned out. I know it's too short. It's a test. But that's exactly, and that's better than any hand stitching I can do. So when you've got those Lori Holt quilts, you know, and she's got the Sunbonnet Sam or whatever his name is, and he's got his little fishing pole and you're supposed to hand stitch that fishing line. That's how you do that. Because she gives you the paper with the design on it. You just scan in the paper. That's how I made the little chick feet on chicken salad. So alrighty, so okay, we're still going to be here tomorrow, but you're embroidering as you listen to me. Oh, you have the Dreamweaver XE. Great, Jude. That's great. And that's an excellent point. What did you say? Right here. Tina is absolutely right. Confidence is key. You can do anything. This is why I did this on a scrap, you guys. Okay. Get out your scrap basket, dig around, and just try it. Just try it. You'll be surprised what you can do. Okay. All right. Our hour is up. This has been a lot of fun. I hope it was very helpful. For those of you that felt a little lost, I've got playlists that take you baby step by baby step how to do this. And I'm going to go ahead and make the mini quilts. Even if they don't respond and say I can show you how, I am going to do them. And we will talk about it even if I don't show you. But you can apply the steps that I show you using in chicken salad or any of the other ones that I have done to do this yourself as well. Okay, so the technology is there. Grasp it, use it, employ it in your sewing room. You guys, I want to challenge you to 2024, learn a new skill. Okay. This has been fun. I am about ready to get going with the rest of my day. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow. You guys go sew something. Bye.